I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. Oh, I can see the sea. That's a rare occurrence. You don't usually see the sea. It's usually miles away. Miles. Well, good morning to you, plebs and plebettes. It is I, King, your Lord and Saviour, His Majesty the Pleb. I should stop doing that. I should really stop doing that. I'll probably forget about it soon. Don't worry, I'll forget about it soon enough. Currently, well, I have to drop some stuff off to my wife at work, and then now I am leaving on a jet plane in the shape of a Honda VFR. I'm not taking the direct route, so I will likely go to Grasmere, see if I can buy a little bit of gingerbreadage, and then just wind my way slowly up north. Don't really want to get there too early, but I was just bored of sitting at home. Do you know when you've got somewhere that you have to leave at a certain time? So your entire day is literally just sat ready and then just sitting in a chair with your coat on for an hour waiting for the time to leave. Maybe it's just me being overly organised for certain things. So I end up setting off early because I'm just tired of waiting. So I will just relax. Fortunately, the detour to my wife's work has delayed me by 40 minutes. So that is good, technically good, and as long as I don't go overboard with the old right wrist, I should make that time back up. This helmet's too bloody misty. There's just no airflow in it whatsoever. I don't know whether it's because I've got the camera blocking the vent though. That could be a distinct possibility. Got the vent open, one at the bottom, one at the top. Might just have to give it a bit of a crack. Both panniers on the bike, fully loaded. Top box is not fully loaded. I've just got bits and bobs in there. I never know how much I'm supposed to put in a top box because it's supposed to be like light stuff only, but then people just put heavy stuff in them anyway. The bracket's like super heavy, super durable, but I don't really want things breaking. And with a full belly of fuel and brand new tyres, that is a trike and a half. That I'm tipping in surprisingly quick. You lean and the weight sort of takes over, so I need to be like gently gentle with it for at least the first 5 minutes. At least the first 5. Oh, well, meeting some old army buddies has really put me in an odd mental state. Just thinking back of the absolute social hand grenade that it used to be me. I'm hoping that we don't get booted out of the I think it's like an Airbnb or something like that. So getting kicked out is not going to be good. So sort of trying to be on the best behaviour. But I'm reminded of a time, the people I'm going to see that weren't actually involved in this one, but it's been, right, let's set the scene. Me, a young man, a young buck of 21, I think, 2021. It was just after, or sorry, in the year following the World Trade Center, and I was in Canada. It was my first posting. I was in the Royal I'm not really good at the setting the scene thing, am I? Royal Electrical Mechanical Marines? Engineers, from now on referred to as REME. So my first posting, once I'd finished my training, was to a REME light aid detachment. So it's a small workshop that looks after another Corps vehicle. So it was the 3 UK div signals, and we were a light aid detachment. So all the wagons and trucks with the antennas and communications equipment in, we looked after the trucks, they looked after the equipment on the back of it. And they were going out to Canada. I think it was like Operation Iron Anvil. That's the kind of sad name I think it was. But they weren't actually participating in the actual exercise itself. All they were doing is they were providing communications. So they were going out and they were setting up the radio network, which meant what they were doing were rolling out on day one, going up a hill, putting up an aerial, and then that was them for months, basically. So the trucks that did break, we fixed all the trucks that broke down or got stuck on the first day, and then we made sure all the trucks were roadworthy, ready to come back on the final day. So all the times in between that, you'd rock up to the workshop and they'd be like, nothing's broke down, let's go get drunk. Which was, after the exercise ended, there was a delay to the return due to, I think, the fire strike. So people were being brought back first to cover the fire service. So I was there for I'm sure it was something like 8-9 months. It was something, I was there for ages with no particular job to do, just lots of money and drink. I was probably good at bounty. So we used to always go out to Prison Hat, which was the nearest town, to go get drunk. And I don't know why, but you couldn't get taxis to stop and pick you up. So the thing that ended up happening was you'd literally just run out onto the road in front of a taxi, and when they stopped, then you jump in and they take you where you wanted to go. Not too sure whether that was what was supposed to happen. Sounds a bit dangerous, but that's what we were doing. And one night I went to get a taxi. We were going to, I think there was 2 clubs that we used to spend time at. It was either Stilettos, because the serving women, it was like basically Hooters, but instead of just a shorts and a t-shirt, the women wear lingerie. So you'd go to Stilettos, or you'd just go to the Dollhouse, which was just a strip club. So we'd had enough of our pre-game drinks, so we were needing transportation. So I drunkenly run out into the road, stop a taxi, we all pile in, and then we're like, let's go, go, go. Right, we're all crammed in. And there was one of the guys who's called Big Al, not ironically, he was a big old Scotsman. So we were all like crammed in. And then when we get to Stilettos, I think it was Lee, possibly, I can't remember who it was. Someone ran out to check whether it was like worth going in or whether we stay or not. And we decided to jump back in the cab and then drive straight from there to the Dollhouse. I knew he was going to fucking straight line it. So when we get to the Dollhouse, we all piled out the taxi, and the lazy driver slams it out of the car, literally wheel spins, peels away down the road. And we were like, that's weird. Then we try to find out who paid, so because basically like one person, whoever was in the front would pay, and then we'd all say how much was it, and then we'd split the bill, blah blah blah. And then it was like, no, I didn't pay, so no one could figure out who had paid. And it was only on sort of like sobering recollection in the morning after that we realised it wasn't actually a taxi. I'd run out to the middle of the road, some woman on her way home or something, on her own in the car, slammed the anchors on, and then like, I think it was like 4 or 5 drunk squaddies barreled into a car and started ordering it to drive her around. So, oh god, I bet she was fired. So that was the day I actually accidentally, not carjacked, because she got to keep the car, and she was essentially quids in, because one of the guys left his wallet in there with a load of cash that he was planning to spend on strippers. So she ended up coming out on top, except the possible crippling fear of ever having to stop for someone running out in front of them. I don't remember her saying at any point to get out, this isn't a taxi though. We was literally paralysed by fear and then drove to where we needed to go. Silly me. Oh, the bike is running so good. New chain, new tyre, fixed throttle, give it a bit of a wash as well. I also didn't realise, because I normally like, well, let's try that again. I normally don't put it on the kickstand when I am cleaning the chain. I literally just roll it backwards and forwards along the driveway, simply because the kickstand's a pig. I only recently started to get the hang of it. You've literally got there's one of the passenger foot pegs, there's like a bracket down there, you gotta like grab that and then literally just go in one big motion and get it on the center stand. So it wasn't until I was searching for like a link to split when I was trying to take the chain off that I realised the wheeler would spin normally, then it was like slow down, so there was sticking points in the chain when it just wasn't spinning freely. So all that's now done with. I just wanted to be able to see in front of me. I think I'm still gonna order a new cush drive, because if it's on the same chain then, or that was like a factory chain, I don't actually know. But if it was on its last legs, then I don't know when things like the cush drive or anything. No, the normal stuff that gets forgotten gets done. The clutch fluid looks a little murky, but the brake fluid doesn't look too bad. But I'm still thinking about getting it done anyway. I don't really want to do it myself. There's multiple bleed points for the link brake system. That sounds annoying. Could do the job, but I'd rather, I don't know, it depends on what the cost is. If it goes like just 200 quid, I'll be like, I tell you what, go fuck yourself, I'll do it myself. But I know, £100 or less, I'd probably see that as a begrudging cost to save the hassle. Plus, I don't really want to. If it's complicated and I fuck it up, then it's my brakes I'm playing with. So, oh no, what's all this shit? Well, I'm quite glad I've got a new tyre on now. Skipping around in this piss. Skid risk. Not fucking wrong. It's a sweary boy today. Sweary, sweary, sweary. Excuse me while I'm concentrating on where I'm going. Don't want to get too far close to the car in front because I really don't want to get like a face full of gravel. Yes, we'll just take one hand off this fucking handlebar, shall I? Just do that instead. That's it's really clever. Just do that. Just do that. I'm only going slow. Oh, speaking of going slow, I've been looking at some videos of the Himalayan, the old one, since it's bizarre really because the cost of a Himalayan, especially if you get the old one, but brand new, if you know what I mean, is probably a very similar cost to like the Vosges or any kind of motocross type bike, but the insurance on it is dramatically less, and it's probably because it's a Himalayan, and who the fuck robs them, right? Oh, I've got panniers on the thing there. Can I squeeze in front of that? Can I squeeze? Yeah, I could probably squeeze in front of this shit. I'm on bicycles, on holiday bicycles. I know like the Himalayans are notoriously sluggish vehicles, but I'm just thinking like it could be a nice introduction because it's like so confident at slow speeds, and I won't be able to do it a lot of I won't be able to bounce around on like off-road at all. Let's face it, if my leg was completely fine, I would be able to go straight into like a stupid amount of off-road bouncy. So it's a good show actually. It might be to cover a few bases as essentially a sacrificial bike. I say sacrificial. A bike to ride while I'm doing anything that extended to bring this back to spec. It's only like between £2 to £3 grand for a second-hand one, and I get to try and practice some like off-roady stuff at the same time. I'd never really use it for any kind of like long distance touring, but you say that, but then you watch people do absolutely incredible distances on bikes that may not be the best suited for it, as long as you've got no particular rush. But I've seen the bike do, oh god, where's that? That's the dog food factory again, isn't it? I've seen people tour the UK on like a 125 and things like that, so it's more attitude than the bike itself. So maybe watch this space. Watch it close. I build confidence and leg strength. Maybe I progress onto something maybe heavier or something. I don't know, but I think it makes a suitable companion to a sports tourer. Because in many ways, it's the very definition of the opposite of a VFR. I might have to get like a little sticker to put on the back of the bike that says "What you expect is a Royal Enfield" for everyone that gets frustrated with me not being able to do the speed limit though. Is that a little soggy raindrop or just a bird shit on me for popping off about the Enfields? I mean, I've seen people put a new camshaft in it and then they start doing all sorts of changes to the engine, but I don't know. I think that defeats the object of the bike at that point. You may as well have just bought a better bike, or one that suits your needs better, than buying one that doesn't and then pissing around trying to pick up that poo. Spending time pissing around making it a better bike. It's like all the people that on the CBT that have like big exhausts and try and get as much power out of the 125 as possible. Just chill out, just enjoy the 125 era, save your money, and then when you can upgrade to a bigger displacement. There's no replacement for displacement unless you drive a Royal Enfield, and then the 400's gonna go fucking slow. Slow. New tyres, don't do stupid things on new tyres. The one question it does bring up though is, where do you go for all these off-road green lanes and getting shot by a farmer? I think that there's like apps you can download, but some of the ones I didn't really put a huge amount of attention to. I was just sort of browsing at the time. The apps didn't always offer navigation, so I don't know whether it's a case of you have to plan the route out beforehand and then create the navigation yourself. I don't know why this bolt has got rust on it and that one doesn't. So that's probably a screw. I'm actually a little chilly. It's not a good start to the day, that is it? Although I do have my my heated vest, or one of my heated vests, and some power packs with me. The weather didn't look all too promising. I might need to do a scramble into some waterproof before I get there. Whether or not I'm going to really regret not bringing my actual proper waterproof RST jacket with me is, well, we'll find that out, won't we? We'll find that out! I've also got no idea on battery life, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. I don't know how I do that, because you can literally just stay in that left-hand lane and it still goes to the same place. I'm not going to go to the front today, look. I am in no rush. Put the aircon on. Get the aircon, get the mist out, get rid of the mist. Oh, I forgot my little neck. My neck woofter. Shit. I was thinking my neck is a little bit cold. No indicators on those fans. It's ironic you'd expect a fan for telecommunications to be able to communicate. I think sometimes you just expect too much. You have some trust in your puppy to let it just run round off lead. I mean, yeah, I know I've got no rush, but I'm not sitting in a fucking queue.